Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier when the morning comes.
This is a view of the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. From Maui, CITYTALK, CITYWALK is now here in San Francisco. And this is by Pier 39. This is one example of the local tours here. Sightseeing using this yacht here. This boats. This is the marina here, and there is dredging taking place here. That's the dredger. The tourists here walking around. Fisherman's Wharf is a popular destination for families because there are many activities that can be done. This Alcatraz, the view of Alcatraz is on the other side of the wharf.
This is a cardboard urn for scattering cremains, which are loaded from the bottom, and then the bottom is hooked together. And then when you go to scatter the cremains, the family pulls the top off and pushes in the tab at the top. And you can scatter the cremains in the ground or out at the ocean or wherever they're at, and not have to touch the cremains. Able to scatter them in a dignified manner.
Oh, can you use that? Can you puncture a hole in the bottom and then plant it on the ground?
You can, or you can just place the whole thing in the ground and it will decompose because it's all biodegradable, and it'll just decompose into the ground and the cremains will disperse into the ground.
A few months or so.
Correct.
Okay. But of course,
But many styles for many families that want,
yeah.
from
And how
flower.
much is a can? It's made of paper.
It's made out of paper.
Yeah.
So these here sell for about $90.
$9.
$90.
$90. Oh. And this.
These sell for about $135.
That's also made of
Correct.
Cardboard.
This is a larger one for all the cremains.
all the
If you-
remains.
All of them. But if you have family and some of the family want to take some of the cremains
Yeah.
home and they want to purchase different ones and split the cremains between,
Yeah. Yeah.
then everyone can have some of the cremains to go scatter them where it's
Yeah.
someplace special for them.
Okay. And I see you have also bamboo urn.
Correct. Correct. And they're all finished with the natural finish,
Mm-hmm.
so that's no hydrocarbons. It's all biodegradable,
Mm-hmm.
so that there's no chemicals going into the soil.
The thing is, you shouldn't use any chemical,
No chemicals.
varnish or anything.
Correct. All these are chemical free. They're all natural products.
Okay.
From the bamboo to the scattering urn. It's made out of sand.
Oh, this is made out of sand.
Correct. And this is designed so you put the cremains in the top.
Yeah.
And if you want to scatter out in the ocean,
Yeah.
it has enough weight so that it takes the cremains down under the water so that they're not floating on the water. And then after it's in the water for about 30 minutes, it starts to break apart and gently scatters the cremains.
Steve, tell me about this wicked coffin.
This is a coffin that's made out of willow. It's all made by hand by local families. It's also available in seagrass and bamboo. It's another form of a natural burial casket that you place your loved one in, lower into the ground in a dignified manner, and then the casket will decompose. It's direct soil contact on the casket. There's no vault, there's no concrete, there's no non-biodegradable products around this, so it will return to earth in a good manner.
Okay, and this thing you said would cost $2,000?
About $2,000. This is made by hand. It's
Yeah.
not like a metal casket that's going to be stamped out on an assembly line.
Yeah.
It also supports local families that need more income as well. So it allows them to be able to use the skills that they have to produce something that can be used locally.
So it's just certain families producing now. This is not yet mass produced.
It's mass produced, multiple families are doing this. And so I'm not sure how many are being sold in the country. This is pretty popular here.
Okay. Yeah, and do you have that pod, the urn pod?
No.
You don't carry that yet. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll move on and show us the. This is the what? After death, and in this kind of green burial, there is no embalming.
No embalming.
Yeah.
No chemicals of any kind used. Any casket that goes in for green burial cannot have any paints, any lacquers. It's be all natural.
And how do you keep the body for viewing? Say the relatives would be wanting to see the loved one before the body is buried. So how do you keep the corpse or preserve the corpse?
Refrigeration is allowed. You have to keep, if there's no embalming involved, the body has to be under refrigeration.
You have a huge refrigerator for this?
It's a small one, but it serves our purpose.
Like a walk-in freezer,
Yeah, but refrigerator, so it has to be below 40 degrees.
40 degrees.
I'm not sure exactly what
The freezing point.
Right, the funeral directors would know what
Yeah.
temperatures.
And you've seen this, it works.
Yes, it does.
The body doesn't, the face doesn't
Depends upon the
disfigure.
cause of death.
Oh, okay.
Each person's different.
Yeah.
Has been-
But there's no makeup,
No makeup on, no.
so
if
it's
they-
as natural as can be.
Correct, very natural. So if a family wants to see their loved one before they are placed in the cemetery, the funeral home can arrange to have them brought up beforehand for a short time for family to go and do a final goodbye.
But the longest is 3 days, can't be a week.
So refrigerate, but the
Ah,
longer
okay.
you refrigerate, the harder it is. But, the funeral directors would know more about that.
So that's the thing that you don't handle here.
The funeral directors do.
Oh, you have your own funeral
We have our
director.
own funeral home on site.
Ah,
Our own
okay.
funeral directors.
But you still, of course, like take the blood out of the body when. No, you don't touch the body at all. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So that's Himalayan salt. Oh,
But if a family wants to, a lot of the families go to the beach. They go to the ocean because they want to. Grandma liked going to the ocean, so let's
Yeah.
scatter grandma in the ocean. But if you just scatter the remains on the surface, they're going to float on the surface
yeah,
so they don't go down.
yeah.
So if you put them in a salt urn like this, it's all natural. It's the weight of it will carry it to the bottom of the ocean. where
So
it
the
will
urn
serve
goes
it.
with it.
Urn, yes. Put the remains inside of the urn, and then put the lid on it. Put a little seal around it so it doesn't separate.
And then that thing would melt eventually, of course,
It'll
because it's
dissolve.
salt.
Correct. It'll dissolve.
It will dissolve.
Yes.
Interesting.
So and some of them are white with a rose on them.
Yeah,
But again, this is all natural products for painting. So
it's artisans that do them.
correct.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Designed so if you place it in the ground,
Yeah.
it'll break
But
down
then
the
this
ground.
will decompose
It will
also.
decompose.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So
Okay. I thought it is wood, but you're saying that's just paper
this is
mache.
paper mache. This is eternal, so you put the cremains inside. You notice there's a hole in the top, so that when you put it on the water, it'll start to absorb water. But as it's absorbing water, the bottom will break apart first
Yeah.
and gently scatter the cremains into the water after they absorb moisture, so they'll settle. And then this will just break up in a half hour to an hour. It'll break up into pieces of paper that'll disintegrate and be naturally
Wow.
absorbed. So it'll float on the water for a short time and then start sinking and breaking up on it.
Beautiful way.
So So they pull the pews out and they put round tables in, so it's a little more relaxed. And have more of a memorial service with pictures and slides, or Grandpa liked wearing flannel, everybody shows up in a flannel shirt. So trying to make it more personal to the individual rather than the traditional funerals we used to have.
But you kept it.
You kept it, yes.
It's autumn here. This concept of a park cemetery is not really new.
No.
So as early as 18. Wow, what's the earliest burial here?
The earliest burial is 1886.
1886.
July 5, 1886.
And so this was a private property before?
It was private property, and four businessmen in the city got together and purchased the land. And started the cemetery, and everyone said it was going to fail because it was too far out of town, took too long to get here. There weren't any really major roads to get here.
But there were already trees, because I can see there are century-old trees.
True. The trees you see today were planted after the cemetery was developed. It was cleaned off, cleared off, and then all new trees were planted. Chestnut trees along the edge. A lot of the families that purchased property here purchased the trees and planted the trees in memory of their loved ones. So some of those trees are, like you say, a century old and getting old and starting to have
More than a century.
More than a century.
Yeah. Trees last for centuries, right?
They do. They do.
Like,
Henry Failing, Mr. Cooch.
Named the street after him.
He did. Feeling offhand, I don't recall. I can walk to their graves, I just can't recall.
oh, they're buried here,
They're buried
of course.
here. Correct.
But simple, they don't have a mausoleum of their own.
No, they don't have mausoleum.
That's simple.
Very simple.
So there are also Jews buried here?
There are.
Oh, okay.
It's the cemetery's always been open to any nationality, any faith.
Okay.
So from people that are very, very poor to people that are very rich.
Yeah.
Some that are famous.
Oh, like who?
Virgil Earp from the shootout at the OK Corral is buried here.
Oh.
Just went past his site back here. Henry Weinhardt from the
Weinhardt
Weinhardt Brewing is up here. His birthday's coming up in February, so we'll find root beer bottles and beer bottles at his site. People come out for a drink with Henry.
Oh, okay.
Abigail Scott Dunaway, who gave women the right to vote in Oregon. She's buried here.
Oh.
As is her brother, who did not want women to vote. He's buried here in a different section. This section was started. This is more of
Oh,
a.
look at that beautiful tree.
This is more of a garden style. In the 1960s, a lot of cemeteries were run down, and they wanted to do away with all the upright monuments that families had purchased, and so they went to all flat markers.
Oh, that's a memorial park already.
More of a memorial park.
Yeah.
This is prime property right here.
But it's a corporation that owns and runs the...
It is a non-profit company, non-profit organization. So it's been non-profit from the day it opened. They had to change the state laws when they opened the park in order to be non-profit. So if you own an interment right here, you are one of the owners. You can vote for whoever's on board. The more property you own, the more votes you have.
There's more mausoleums over there.
Those are not mausoleum houses.
That's houses. That's neighbors.
So this is actually a hill.
That view, look at that
This is
view.
Mount Hood
Yeah.
up above.
You see Mount Hood there?
So they do an Easter service here every year, and 300 or 400 people will show up.
Oh, it is so lovely.
And they don't advertise it, the people just show up for sunrise service.
Oh, 5 a.m.?
It's 5:30. Yeah. Too early for me.
Did you see Mount Hood, Violeta?
Where is Mount Hood?
Right ahead.
In the horizon, right there.
Oh,
That's-
not where the buildings are.
No, way past.
way
On the
past.
left, the left.
Way past on the hill.
Oh,
It's a ski resort.
A lot of people want to be buried where they can see Mount Hood. So most of the
what's significant about Mount Hood?
it's big.
How many feet above sea level?
13,000.
Wow.
Just over 13.
Where was I? Oh, we were in Mount Haleakala. It's 10,000 feet above sea level. And it was very cold in Maui. So it must be freezing there.
Yeah.
And Mount Hood is where the water supply comes from for Portland and a lot of the communities.
The glacier, the snow
Glacier.
melting.
Yep.
You have glacier there.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Look at that view.
beautiful.
So you can look over the city towards Selwood and Portland.
Yeah.
Used to be before the Selwood Bridge was built, there was a ferry there that took people back and forth across the river. But once the first bridge was built, then the ferry stopped.
So how much is the right to buy? The right to be buried here?
The property rights start out at about $2,195 and go up to about $6,500. for
Depending
ground
on the
burial.
side.
Depending upon the site.
Yeah. And the size.
Correct. And do you have a view? Are you higher up the hill or down at the bottom?
Oh, okay.
So are you in the older section with all the mature trees and the large monuments? So
So that's how the pricing is reckoned
correct.
according to location.
According to location, like any real estate, it's location.
Yeah, location. Even
That's a view,
in
it's
depth,
Or
even in depth,
even that.
real estate values apply.
In this section right here, you'll see that there's large monuments.
Yeah.
No small ones, because a family, if they want a monument, has to buy 8 graves at a time in order to put a monument up, and they only allow those monuments in specific areas.
Livingstone.
One of the things that's been real popular here is in the flower bed here, we just put some basalt and stone.
Oh yeah, so the family can gather around.
The stone's gonna be a little different because each one is cut from a different column or from the same column, but each as a column gets smaller, larger, they change, but very natural that way. So family can do the cremation in front of it. Place the remains in the ground, either in an urn or no urn at all, just pour them directly into the ground. And then engrave their name on the stone.
On the
Basalt.
stone. Yeah.
Get your autumn leaves, baby.
Oh, chow, Chinese. So this is the traditional
This
section.
is all traditional.
Yeah.
But if you want to do natural burial here,
Yeah. Where do
you
you
can
do it?
natural burial in any of these grave spaces you've seen.
Oh,
Rather than just having a specific section, which we're in the process of developing a specific natural burial only section,
yeah.
any family that owns property here today
Yeah.
can use a space that they already own or choose to purchase as a natural burial space.
Oh, so right there,
Correct.
they can have natural burial.
Correct. So if a family has already purchased a grave and a concrete vault, and they want to go with natural burial, we charge $350 for the additional natural burial charge because there's more work involved
Yeah.
to maintain the grave space.
Yeah.
But they can turn their vault in as credit towards that. So a lot of families are getting some money back
Yeah.
sometimes.
So this one doesn't have a natural burial yet.
Sure it does. You just can't
Which
tell.
one? Oh, you can't tell.
Anywhere out here. All
Oh,
these spaces we've driven past, people could have done natural burial, but the grounds crew will come back and check the graves from time to time to make sure that if they've settled, that they get raised up again. Because we don't want someone tripping in a hole
Right.
out here. Or if they,
and you put a slab on top.
Yeah, the little marker.
Okay. The little markers.
Graves are 10 feet long,
Uh-huh.
so the burial takes place down below the marker, so the marker's sitting
Is it
under
vertical when you bury the coffin? Horizontal.
Horizontal.
Ah, okay. Never vertical.
No, don't do any vertical.
That's what I had in mind. People were asking.
Require a smaller plot.
They were asking me, so how are you going to do? Maybe vertical.
Yeah, well, you could. You core a hole and you just lower the casket in.
Look at this.
This was just put in a couple months ago in the summer.
It's a marker or
It
is
is
it
a marker. Yeah.
Oh, it's not a burial.
Not yet. No one buried there yet.
Okay.
But this family has a lot of history in the area, coming by as pioneers across the Oregon Trail, living in the gorge where there's a lot of basalt.
Okay.
So
They wanted
they wanted something that's natural, or
Yeah.
reflected where the family was from,
yeah.
and then they're going to have an engraver come in and do the engraving on the stone
Beautiful.
of their family history.
So that would be the marker, and they'll be buried under the markers,
Beside it,
beside it, around.
around it.
Okay. It looks like a piece of sculpture.
Those are about 2 feet. They grew up with concrete.
Yeah. I had to do a
Get it
concrete.
together.
Okay. Wow.
On the left here is where our next development will go. So that's in the process of being developed.
So you don't cut the trees, you work your way around the trees.
Try to keep as many trees as we can. So and then we have the tree line here. We have property on the other side of the ravine, but that will be developed later. And not sure how that will be developed. A lot of ravines over there with environmental concerns with the water. We have to stay back
Yeah.
distances.
How about leaching? Leaching. It is a myth, isn't it, that you have to make a vault so that whatever disease or illness the dead had will not go to the soil and affect the water supply and the water table. So
That hasn't been an issue here.
it hasn't been an issue.
No. The funeral director told me one time, the funeral director I used to work with told me one time that by the time the material from the body moves 2 feet through the soil, the natural bacteria is going to absorb and neutralize anything that's coming out of the casket.
Okay.
They like to come by and stuff.
Oh, look at that. Canada geese. Yes. I saw them taking off from Ontario before. They looked like a military formation with a leader.
Wicker, pine, seagrass, anything that's natural.
Well, in the olden days, the family prepares the corpse, right?
Correct.
And washes them. In the Philippines, they use certain herbs. I've seen the Mangan tribes do that. Yeah, indigenous people. I lived with them for a year.
Okay. That's a nice area.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's sloping.
Not really slow.
What kind of equipment do you use for digging?
They use a large backhoe.
Backhoe. Okay.
When this section is developed, the question is, do we still use a backhoe or do we dig by hand? So those
Yeah.
are things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Do we go with granite marker, traditional granite markers, or do we go with basalt, or do we go with the wood marker that's going
Yeah.
to decompose? There's no plans to irrigate it. There's no plans to mow the grass over it, just to keep it down from a fire hazard. Just let it be more natural.
So it would be like a mesh garden.
Right. He's trying to get it down so you can see it. Our funeral home is at the bottom of the hill.
We met there first.
We did? Okay. Nice old house.
So that dates back to the 1890s.
The house is built, I'm not sure when the house was built.
But it was built under the auspices of the
Correct.
funeral, in the cemetery.
Correct. The superintendents have lived there over the years.
Oh, free housing. Beside the dead.
Yeah, it's a quiet neighborhood. I lived at one of the cemeteries I worked at. I lived in the house.
Really?
Property for 3 years. And it's nice and quiet.
No apparitions.
Lots of joggers. You were following somebody on a bicycle uphill. I was like, wow.
There's about 700 bicycles through here every day.
Is it free?
Yes. There's the river.
Yeah.
And a lot of people use it to go through. There's a college just
Yeah.
down the road.
Uh-huh.
So they come across the bridge and they go through here to get to the college.
Wow. That's a nice walk every day.
Lewis and Clark.
Oh, you studied there, Eric? Oh.
What kind of law did you practice?
Right now I do immigration and others. How to serve this in the state.
See a lot of boats out here with the salmon are migrating up the river. A lot of fishermen.
You see the salmon migrating?
Well, the fishermen out there trying to catch the salmon.
Oh. I saw in Victoria salmon returning to their place of birth.
Yes.
It's,
That here too, but you're
it's-
leaving already on Friday.
it's awesome. Victoria.
Fish ladder.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
to
not
Bonneville
ladder.
and watch the fish.
I didn't see the ladder. I just saw them through a stream and they were so crowded. Some of them have lost their eyes, but they keep moving. Some have scales off. You know, it's quite a sight. And the way God created them, huh? Internals of, oh, look at beautiful autumn scene. Well, thank you, Lord. I prayed for this. I prayed that I still see some autumn leaves.
This is an interesting family.
What is
This
this?
is a private mausoleum.
Parker.
Has 4 crypts and 16 niches inside of it. Mr. Parker's parents are buried across the street right on our left here.
Oh, really?
And he wanted to be close to his parents. Remember, we sell interment rights. We don't sell property. We sell the rights. So in this case, we find out what the family wants. What do they want the right to look at? They want a private mausoleum, but how many people do they want to have in there having rights? So we design it according to what they want, and then give them the cost. So they say, well, that's more than I want, or I want my changes. And we work with them to we sell them the rights, the number of rights, or we will build the building to meet with their needs of what they want those rights to look like.
So this is more recent.
Correct. That's about 6 years old.
Oh, 6 years old. And this must be a rich family to have that.
Likely.
So you can actually, over your rights, have this private mausoleum.
If you want to purchase rights for a private mausoleum,
But that would be like eternal, so to speak. I mean, it will never be changed. What you pay for is like for the duration of the cemetery itself.
correct. So we're what's called an endowed care cemetery. So everyone who buys property here pays a percentage of what they pay into a fund. That we put the money
You call it
into.
endowment.
Correct. So we can use the interest off the money to help maintain the park,
Uh-huh.
but we cannot pull the principal out of it.
So just the interest.
Just the interest.
And how do you reckon the monthly amortization? Or just sharing, you know?
The company who manages the account will let us know how much money is in there. So that's the funds for that.
But when you buy the right to bury, it's built in. It's
Built
one of the items.
Correct. The state says if you purchase ground space, it's 15% minimum.
15% minimum.
15% if you purchase a mausoleum.
15% of the cost of
Correct.
acquiring the right.
Correct. So if it's a niche or a crypt, then it's 5%. The idea, the concept was it's going to cost more to buy a niche or a crypt, or you get a lot more niches in this same area we get in graves.
Oh. You have cardinals and you must have a lot of birds here too. Different types. Yeah, I can see.
So you see a lot of holly trees throughout the park here.
I saw also mistletoe.
Mistletoe is a parasite though, it's not planted.
It's not a tree. It's a vine.
It grows
Around the tree.
right at the roots.
Eagle's nest.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh. It's called a high birch tree? I mean, what's the tree? A pine tree.
Sure. That's cypress.
Cypress?
It's been used since the 40s by government for disease control and the need to destroy experiments that are highly contagious and use alkaline hydrolysis. Hospitals have used it for years but now it's coming into the main market for our consumers.
For the rich environmentalists.
Not rich. We don't charge that much for it. But it allows a family that wants to be more green instead of using hydrocarbons and gas
Yes.
to cremate the body. That uses hydrocarbon to use a little bit of electricity, which we could generate with the dams on the river, and warm water and alkaline. It dissolves the body. So in about 4 hours' time, as the water washing over the body,
But this-
dissolves all the tissues down, and breaks all the.
So what is
RNA and
left?
DNA.
What is left?
What's left?
No
is-
ashes.
No ashes.
So
The
what?
bone is still left, but it's very fragile
Okay.
because it's white.
So what do you collect?
It's still a bone product. But there's no DNA, there's no RNA. It's very fragile. It's like a chalk.
Oh, chalk.
It just breaks down. And you get about 20% more ash back remains left than you do with the traditional flame tradition.
This is another important piece for your landscape. And I don't know what you're going to do. I assume eventually you're going to bury people.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the important things to understand is that we people, we're soil.
Yeah.
And the tree right here is the first steps of soil. So when all this big giant log, it was all the way out, like 100 feet out that way. We had to clear it all up and chop it up, and we ground a bunch of it into chips. And then we let the chips, let the fungus that's in the bark already
Oh, yeah.
grow naturally in the chips. And then we take those chips, which are now called myceliated, and we place that in with our bodies when we bury them.
Oh, really?
So it's a way of taking the landscape itself and putting it back into the soil
Oh.
with the body. And it helps the decomposition of the body.
Oh, it's like a biodigester.
It is exactly, well, that's what soil is. You're walking soil.
Yeah.
I'm walking soil.
Yeah, dust to dust.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and literally, I mean, like, not just dust turning to dust, but dust turning into a person, turning into a plant, turning into soil,
Yeah.
turning back into a plant.
Right.
You know, the whole cycle. So that's part of what the natural burial dynamic is all about.
Uh-huh.
Is you have a landscape,
Yeah.
cemetery, and you're actually helping the bodies go back in to become
Part of nature again.
Nature again, yeah.
And so you highlight trees like this. I mean, you honor it
Yes.
by giving it
Making space for it.
a space.
Letting it live.
Oh, okay.
You know, for most of us, I mean, goodness, the way humans treat a lot of nature,
Yeah.
just letting it live is pretty darn good.
Yeah, that's happening to build a memorial park. They clear everything.
Right, right. So now this does bring me to one of, and by the way, I want to just say this much